The 1970s were a golden era for music. Disco, soul, and funk ruled, powered by black women who became legends. Donna Summer, Diana Ross, and Aretha Franklin gave us anthems that still echoes. Today we are diving into the disco divas of the 70s, dark days, and their cost for fame. This is a story of brilliance, heartbreak, and the pain of fame that nearly broke these divas. The 1970s were electric. Disco pulsed through clubs, soul soothed hearts, and black women like Donna Summer, Diana Ross, and Aretha Franklin were the forefront, breaking barriers in a white-dominated industry. Their voices defined a generation. But fame in the 70s was not just glamorous, it was brutal. Systematic racism, brutal expectations, and a predatory music industry that applied pressure on these women. Add personal traumas that were in their private lives, and you get a recipe for tragedy hidden behind their dazzling performances. These divas were expected to be perfect, sexy yet pure, strong yet submissive. The media and labels took advantage of their talent while ignoring their humanity. Let's start with the queen of disco, Donna Summer, whose rise to fame came with deep emotional scars.
And maybe one day I'll be a blossom. And that's sort of how I look at it all.
Devoured by disco demands, Donna Summer, born La Donna Guinness in 1948, was a Boston girl with a gospel voice. Her 1975 hit, Love to Love You Baby, made her a global star, but the song's sensual images clashed with her Christian roots. Donna felt trapped, saying, "I was a God-fearing girl, not an S symbol." In 1976, while battling an abusive relationship with artist Peter Moldover, who left her broken, she instantly hit rock bottom. One night in a New York hotel, overwhelmed by fame's pressure and personal pain, she stood on a window ledge, ready to jump. At this point, I'm wondering that she was dealing with a lot, to a point that actually led her to wanna jump over a window ledge. This is to show that there was a lot going on, and especially if she grew up a Christian and she was given an image that did not resonate with her, as something that's very sad, because you are actually going against your own beliefs, and that's what goes on in the industry most of the time. They usually give you an image and you're supposed to carry it out, and sometimes it always doesn't coordinate with your beliefs, but somehow you need to make it happen. And I feel like that's the pressure and the trauma and the mental instability that Donna Summer was actually going through. Luckily, a maid's arrival saved her. A maid who arrived in her hotel room saved her from that pain and that trauma that she wanted to end. But Donna's struggles did not end her. In her childhood, she had a traumatic experience with a minister from church who took advantage of her, that added fuel to her mental health. On top of that, fame amplified her pain. She was already dealing with fame, and fame does take a toll on you, forcing her to perform as a radiant diva while she was breaking inside. Her 2013 documentary, Love to Love You, Donna Summer reveals a woman who felt devoured by the industry demands, her spirit nearly crushed by the spotlight. People usually think that being famous is all glitz and glamour, but a lot of people don't understand that there's actually some things that happen behind scenes, and some are good and some are bad. And for you to be an icon and for you to just become one of the best, you have to go through a lot, whether it can be rehearsals, whether it can be work, whether it can be not seeing your family. Others, they get exploited by the industry. And in this case for Donna Summer, she had a lot of mental health from what I'm picking up. That's what actually devoured her the most. And may her soul rest in peace. She had beautiful music, and I really love her music and the aesthetic that she actually gave us all. She was a very radiant woman, and she really fought for her beliefs, but I feel like it was unheard. Tell me what you think in the comment section. What's your opinion? Engage with me. Engage with me and tell me what you think. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell.
You're born with the feeling that you're special. I know that sounds, and this isn't bold or anything. Yeah, I mean, you really have a feeling that you are here for something, and some people don't have that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you know, and it's a matter of just pacing yourself and learning as much as you can learn until the time comes when you're out there.
Now, moving forward, the cost of crossing over. Diana Ross was the Supreme Diva. After leading the Supremes to 12th #1 hits in the 60s, she went solo in 1970 with Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Her 70s career soared with Lady Sings the Blues and disco hits like Love Hangover. But Diana paid a heavy price. Motown pushed her to cross over to white audiences, diluting her soul's roots to fit a polished image. The media branded her a diva, a loaded term for a black woman asserting her worth, and pitted her against her Supreme sisters, especially Mary Wilson.
But I realized that every time I create a positive thought, in my mind, also I create a negative thought. It's just like, I'm going to be very successful. My mind said, oh, no, you're not.
The music industry and movie industry, it's very tricky. Most of the time, there's big record labels or these big companies come up to an artist or an actress and just tell them to, you know what, change how they started, how their roots started, and move on to a new audience. Whatever audience that is or whatever is trending at that specific moment, you need to fit that and change the way you do your stuff. Basically, how you started, you need to change to fit a certain criteria or to fit a certain aesthetic. And that's the pressure that Diana Ross was actually getting, and she was misunderstood a lot by the public, but they didn't realize the pressure that she was getting behind the scenes. Diana's personal life unraveled too. Her marriage to Robert Silverstein began in 1971 but buckled under her relentless schedule. She turned to liquid substances, you already know what that is, to cope, a secret she hid behind her glamorous facade. In her memoir, Diana said she felt never enough, battling racism and sexism to prove her worth. Fame gave her a stage, but stole her peace, leaving her isolated as the world judged her ambition. Fame took a lot from this woman. It took away her marriage, her private life, and her sanity because she had to drink a lot to cope with the problems that were around her. A lot of people don't mention this, but sometimes when you go through a lot of problems, the world around you also kinds of tips off. It kind of stops as well. And Diana had to find a way to cope. And the fact that her marriage crumbled because of her relentless schedule shows and proves that the label demanded a lot from her and put pressure a lot from her. Her schedules were back to back and she had no time, and we already know how schedules can literally set you back. We've heard stories of that. And with Diana Ross, I just pity her that her marriage crumbled. I pity whatever was going on against her, but sometimes I feel like she also had a choice to also voice out. I feel like she wasn't voicing out a lot. That's just my opinion. Tell me what you think in the comments section, and if you made it this far, thank you so much.
I wanted to bring you here because I thought you'd really enjoy yourself.
Thanks a lot. Been to a whole lot of places like this before.
Moving forward to the Queen's hidden pain, Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, was untouchable. In the 70s, hits like Respect and Chain of Force made her a legend, and her 1972 gospel album, Amazing Grace, was a masterpiece. But Aretha's life was steeped in tragedy. She was taken advantage of at 12. She gave birth to her first child at 13 and a second at 15. These were traumas she rarely discussed. Plus, on top of that, she had a traumatic marriage to Ted White in the 60s that left scars, and by the 70s, she faced new struggles: alcoholism, and an eating disorder, and a fear of flying that limited her career. Tragic, right? That's just very painful. And from what I'm seeing, a lot of these women, also with Diana Ross, they always tend to have liquid substances to kind of cope with their reality around them. Sorry guys, my English is so bad. The reality around them. And with Aretha Franklin, that was also the case as well. And she had a lot of hidden pain in her, but what I like about her the most is that she was strong. She was a very strong woman, and she had to carry herself more with dignity despite of what happened to her. That's what I love about her. The media ignored Aretha's pain, focusing on her voice while she battled privately. There was an incident that happened to her father, Reverend S.L. Franklin, a civil rights figure, that made him remain in coma for years, adding to her grief. Aretha said, "I sang from my heart, but my heart was breaking." Fame demanded she perform as the queen, but it could not heal the wounds of her past or shield her from new ones. Aretha had so much pain that people don't talk about a lot. That was her price for fame. The fact that even though her father was in coma for so many years, she still had to carry on. She still had to make music. The record label still wanted a machine to make them money. They didn't care about what was going on in her private life. And usually music industries do that. Also movie companies do that a lot. And I feel so much pity for her. But all I can say is that she was very strong to carry on smiling, even though behind the scenes she was crumbling. She was crumbling alone, crumbling with pain. Her marriage was just traumatic. She had a traumatic experience when she was a child that she was taken advantage of, and she kept on smiling. That's what I love about her. Or maybe that's what the world showed us, and behind the scenes she was dealing with a lot. I pity her, and may her soul also rest in peace. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of the singers and the musicians and the producers that made
Donna Summer, Diana Ross, and Aretha Franklin gave us music that still moves us even today, but their 70s story revealed a brutal truth. Fame did not protect them, it exposed them, it exploited them. Their personal traumas, addiction, abuse, and loss was magnified by a media that loved their talent but not their humanity. Donna's near-life ending, Diana's isolation, Aretha's silent suffering, they paid for fame with their own peace. That's what they paid for fame. That was their price for fame, and that was their peace and their sanity. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. When you subscribe, please hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment in the comment section about what you guys think. I would really appreciate that. Engage with me, guys. That way I always know what your opinions are. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching this video. Bye.